Merry Christmas, everybody. BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we're talking about the Boston Celtics and the LA Lakers Christmas Day matchup. And that game is going to be 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific. Check that out on ABC along with all the other games today. Man, oh man, do we have a matchup. Obviously, when you're talking about the Lakers, you got to mention the fact that LeBron James scored 40 points in the last game against OKC. Didn't miss any shots from behind the arc. Didn't miss any shots from the free throw line. Was really, really balling. And just got to give him the credit before we start off anything else in regards to the Lakers. Of course, Anthony Davis playing well. The Lakers made a lineup change in the last game that I thought was really, really poignant. Moving D'Angelo Russell to the bench and, of course, inserting Vanderbilt into the starting lineup, and it started us off in the opposite way of what you think. Our offense was going well, and our defense couldn't get any stops, but we were able to really ride the hot hand to a nice, comfortable win for the most part against a team that was short Josh Giddey, but pretty much had everybody else. Second overall best team in the Western Conference by way of their record, and gave us a lot of confidence after being on a 4-game losing streak, losing to teams like San Antonio and Chicago and New York, and of course the Minnesota Timberwolves without LeBron James. So it was good to get back in the win column, but now we face arguably the best team in the league and our most hated rival, the only other team in this league that has 17 NBA championships along with us. And they got a team assembled that is a bit more suited for what it is that Mazzulla, their coach, wants to do, which is shooting the 3-ball. And over the last 2 games, they have pretty much put up almost 300 points, 144 against the Sacramento Kings, and then another game right after that against the Clippers where they went up for 145 points, Both of those were easy victories. And so they've been doing good things in California. Of course, the Golden State Warriors prior to shot them down in overtime. Steph Curry with fantastic heroics. One of the great shots of the year to beat them. But prior to that, they had won games against the Orlando Magic, where they had a back-to-back, took care of Orlando, hit the 3-ball pretty well in that second matchup. And, this is a team, Boston, where if you really pay close attention to them, they want to turn through defense into 3 shots. That's pretty much what they're doing from what I'm seeing. Now, they can get in the post, too. From what I understand, both of their stars, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, are fantastic post players. So they really don't have too many holes in their offense, and their defense is stifling, led by, of course, their superstar, Jason Tatum. And, of course, you got to look at that fantastic defensive backcourt that is Derek White, who's having a career year from both sides of the floor. And, of course, Drew Holiday, Los Angeles' own, who's going to be spending his holiday in Los Angeles for the first time in his career. So he had a very efficient game against the Clippers. I think he was like 8 of 12. And I expect for him to come out and want to make a statement against the Lakers as well. Of course, Jaylen Brown went to California, although he's originally from Georgia. He did have his college days in this state as well. So a lot of guys out in Boston have ties to this area, and I'd imagine are going to want to come in and have a statement game against the LA Lakers. So, when you go up against the Boston Celtics, it's historic ramifications on the line. Anytime you have a matchup with this team, you could expect people will remember it and for all time. They're going to add it together with the collage of games that this team has played all time, and we know this is the premier rivalry in this league, maybe even in entire sports across North America. So today, the Boston Celtics will be coming into Crypto.com Arena. It's hard to still say that. It's Staples Center, basically. But they'll be coming into our building wearing their traditional greens. We'll be wearing our holiday Sunday whites. Of course, because it's Christmas, so we're going to wear our white jerseys, much to LeBron James' chagrin, because he mentioned very recently that he misses the Christmas Day uniforms. I, for one, do not. I never did like those Christmas Day uniforms, fam. I didn't like them. But I will say that it is good to see some festivities out there. and having these two teams come together in a historic fashion, I think it's much better for me personally when I see the Lakers play the Celtics on a Christmas Day game rather than a Dallas Mavericks or somebody like that. I want to play the cream of the crop team midday for the world to see, man. And it's going to be, one of those situations where I expect our team, the Los Angeles Lakers, to come out and play well. This year, the problem that we have is not being able to wake up for games that are not premier games or championship games. And, of course, we won the championship in the in-season tournament, put up a banner for that, much to the chagrin of a lot of people. But, it is what it is. The banner's up. Live with it. We won it. And if your team won it, you would want it up there, too. So, with that being said, we've only won one game since we won that thing. And it was the last game we were in. And so, hopefully that means we're turning things around. And hopefully that means that we can come into this particular game and play our best ball, man. But the problem that I am paying attention to is the fact that they shoot the three ball well over there in Boston. And that's kind of where we've been getting destroyed over the last 5 games. The teams have been just destroying us from behind the arc. Dante Exum had a career game from behind the arc. And in that same game, 5 games ago, we saw Grant Williams shoot well and Tim Hardaway Jr. shoot well. And then Wembanyama had a fantastic game from behind the arc the very next night. Devin Vassell had a fantastic game the night after that. I mean, we've just been allowing a lot of three-point shooting. If I'm not mistaken, it was either the New York Knicks or the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't remember which one it was, but one of those teams shot extremely well from behind the arc. So it's just one of those situations where we just have to accept the fact that the Boston Celtics tend to attack us in ways that we have not done well at all. And given the fact the Boston Celtics have been lighting teams up, hitting 25 threes and 23s in different games, you just understand that the three ball is going to be what ultimately could take you out today on Christmas Day for the world to see. So if we don't get our perimeter defense in order, if we don't attack our perimeter defensive issues in ways that we just basically haven't been over the last 3 weeks, then chances are we're going to get beat. And we're going to get beat in a bad way. And if Boston shooting continues in the way that it has these last couple of games, we can expect for them to put up another 147 points or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They could literally go up that high the way they've been shooting. You name it, they shoot it because that's what their system does. So they don't really have too many players that don't shoot the ball outside of Jaylen Brown. Even Jaylen Brown could hit it quite a bit if he's hot. So it's about guarding the perimeter, man. It's about guarding the perimeter. Funnel these guys into the paint and test their ability to score in the paint. If they score 75 points in the paint, cool. But run their behinds off of the perimeter is what I say. Get them off of there. I don't care what's going on. You prioritize the perimeter because that is what Missoula ball is. I'll be very disappointed if the Lakers are running some type of stupid zone. You are going up against a jump shooting team. Run their behinds off the perimeter. And we got to play with some pride tonight. Obviously, I'd expect for us to. Because clearly this is the Boston Celtics. Clearly they're the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference, maybe in the whole league with a 20-6 record. They don't lose very much. They play amazing defense. You got guys like Derek White and Al Horford. And, they've used a player like Lamar Stevens quite a bit. Neemias Queta is coming off this bench. Peyton Pritchard shoots the ball extremely well. Luke Cornett has also been shooting the ball very well this year. So they just have a bunch of talent all up and down that roster. I don't think that they're the deepest team in the league, but what I will tell you is the players that you would consider them having that are not deep are having career years. So it's not translating to them not having a fantastic squad. And really they just play to the strengths of what it is that they have because they shoot, and those guys that they picked up shoot. Amari Brissett's on this team. He shoots the ball. He's a pretty good power forward they got from Indiana. Expect for him to get some minutes tonight. And, Al Horford always shoots well at Staples Center / Crypto.com arena. You can count on him having a good game tonight. And as I said, Derek White and Drew Holiday, I could argue, are the best defensive backcourt in the game, maybe the best defensive backcourt in many years. I don't think you're going to find too many people that defend better than them at the guard spots. They're 2 of the elite ones. And with Derek White playing so well this year, they're nearly impossible. So you can expect turnovers to be higher against them than probably anybody else. But one thing I know is They don't rebound the ball as well as you would think. And when I look at their roster, even though Jason Tatum has length and he's an amazing defensive player, I don't really see an answer for Anthony Davis, if I'm being completely honest with you. Kristaps Porzingis has length, obviously can block shots, but can he guard AD when AD's going? I know he cannot. I do expect Kristaps will play tonight, but he is a game-time decision. He's kind of been going back and forth on this road trip with a bit of an injury. But, as I said, he's expected to play. Everybody on their team is a game-time decision except for one of their role players. I don't remember exactly who it was, but nobody that you expect to see in rotation. They do have an ex-Laker over there, man. Svi Mykhailiuk is on this team, and he did have a very cold game in the last game. I think it was the Sacramento game that they had, the one before the Clipper game. He was really cold, and it was the only player on the team cold. Everybody else shot extremely efficiently. Anytime there's an old ex-Laker on the team, I'm paying attention. I don't care what team or what role he's on. If it's an ex-Laker, we better be aware he's there. If he checks in, we better have a heightened understanding that he's probably going to want to beat us. We ended up sending him to Detroit after having a pretty good rookie season with us. I never agreed with that. And he's jumped around from Charlotte, and he found himself over on this team as well. So I don't expect for him to have a big role. I don't even know if he'll get checked in because they got a bunch of guards, including Peyton Pritchard, who I know to pay attention to. But Svi Mykhailiuk is an ex-Laker. We need to know that. This is what it is, man. Their backcourt is just phenomenal, man. Jaylen Brown, Peyton Pritchard, Drew Holiday, Derek White. They just got some of the best guards you're ever going to find in this league, man. And then when you consider the length of Kristaps Porzingis, the length of Neemias Queta, the length of Jason Tatum, you just understand that you're going up against an elite championship level basketball team that expects to win their 18th overall championship this year. Problem is, we got 17, and we need to stop them from doing that at all costs. It is our duty as the Lakers, beyond this season and the little rosters that these teams got on this particular random year. This is about all time. Every time you face the Boston Celtics, you're thinking about Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. You're thinking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and you're thinking about guys like Bill Russell and all these different great players that have played in these two uniforms. It's not just about today's team, and we need to understand the unselfishness necessary to come out here on Christmas Day to know that this game will be in infamy forever as a Christmas Day game against this particular franchise, and come out with a certain heightened level of pride. You cannot come out here get blown out. You cannot come out here with a bad game plan. You cannot come out here with lackadaisical effort, and I don't expect it. The DNA of this team is to show up for big games, and I don't think there is a bigger game thus far for us other than the championship game that we played against the Pacers. This is the big game. This is the one you circle on the calendar before the season starts, saying you're going to be ready for it. And given the fact that LeBron James and Anthony Davis are both on a good stretch, I'd say Boston better be careful not to think we are our record going up against them tonight. We are not our record not going up against you. And if I do believe, if you live by the three, you die by the three. And for all the different things that the Boston Celtics do, that is one thing you can count on them doing, is launching. They may attempt 53s today. You should expect it. And if they deviate from that plan, I don't see them scoring as much, because at the end of the day, their system is set up to shoot and shoot a lot, Golden State style. It is who they are this year, and they play defense. They don't turn the ball over very much. So you're not going to find too many holes in what they do every game. From game to game to game, they're going to do everything they do properly and shoot a lot to score a lot. So if we're not on our P's and Q's tonight, it's going to be bad. We're going to need a big game from Austin Reeves. We're going to need D'Angelo Russell to have his game heightened off of the bench, for which he played pretty efficiently off of the bench against OKC. So if we do continue to go with that rotation, which I don't expect coach is going to deviate from what worked in the last game, we'll likely see both of those guards off of the bench, and we're going to need them to be heightened against some of those fantastic defensive guards that they got. It's going to be about guarding the perimeter, man. Get out there. Kristaps Porzingis, get out there. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they're all going to shoot today. And everybody off of their bench is going to shoot too. So if you don't run them off that three-point line, if you don't take good care of the perimeter in ways that you haven't all season long, in ways that you've been deficient for the last 3 weeks, you're going to embarrass your fan base and yourselves, Los Angeles. So that's the warning. The Missoula ball is 3-ball, baby. That's it. And this Boston Celtics team is all about 3 and D, and they get back fast. They play their defense, and they try to get in the fast break as well, and they're looking to leak out the threes at all times. So if you're not focused on taking care of the basketball against an elite defense and attacking them in every area possible to expose their bench and their role players, Jason Tatum just go pick you apart. So we need to understand Jason Tatum, MVP candidate. I think he's averaging over 25 points a game, several rebounds, assists. He's an overall superstar. We know that. His team is winning on his back. Jaylen Brown, also another superstar player, even though his glaring weakness has always been his ball handling. So we should probably try to swarm him with guys like Cam Reddish and Vanderbilt. Try to take the ball from him. That's the one weakness we can always look at. He's going to turn the ball over. But other than that, I mean, he's going to drive, he's going to dunk, he's going to do all types of other stuff. Do not underestimate him just because he has that little weakness there. He's going to defend, physical player, all that. They just really do have a championship level team, and I'm very, very hopeful that we can send them home losers on Christmas Day to set a tone for what it is that we hope to be a part of in the finals if they happen to be there, and we do as well. So we got a long way away from being good enough to be in the finals. I don't know that they're all that close to being that good either, even though they're winning in the regular season. They got to prove that they can do some things in the playoffs that they just haven't done very much. But all in all, they got a hell of a team this season. And it shows in how they're playing, and it shows in their record. And the elements that they need to be a championship team appear to be there. So we just got to have to stomp them out, run them off the three-point line, shoot the 3-ball well. Hopefully LeBron's hot hand continues from where he had in OKC. And this is our house, man. This is our house. That leprechaun is coming into our house on Christmas Day, man. You need to understand that, Lakers. You know what I mean? Every time you go up against the Boston Celtics, it's the biggest thing in the world when you're a Laker fan, and vice versa. It ain't even about how good the team is. We don't care if we're the worst team and they're the best team. That's the game you show up for. You know, this is what that is. This is the game you show up for. If you don't show up for no other game in the history of this season, you make sure you show up for the games against the Boston Celtics. And so tonight, rather today, 2 o'clock Pacific, we're going to be facing off against the biggest rival we got. Facing off with the only other franchise in this league that has 17 NBA championships. Facing off against a team that has beat us in the finals over 7 times in a row in the 60s. Like, this is a team that has embarrassed us a lot. This is a team that's taken a lot from us. And we need to understand that. It's pride. It's Laker lore on the line. This is what it's about when you're a Laker fan. All these other teams, they're sideline characters, as I said in the previous video. This is who you really are aiming at when you're trying to win anything, because you're in a championship race with them. And so that's what I have to say, man. Merry Christmas to all. Obviously, want to mention that the Lakers are wearing their whites. I think I already did that, but just in case you didn't hear me say it, Lakers are wearing white. and the Celtics are wearing booger green. Their ugly green uniforms will be trotting around on our beautiful floor, and they're going to want to shoot the ball a lot, as we know. So look for that defense. Do not turn the ball over. Attack them. Anthony Davis needs to be phenomenal tonight, man. His mid-range shot has been great. We love that. We need that to continue to be a thing. Rui Hachimura had a really good game in the last game. I want to see him to continue to get above 18 minutes. We have to use the man. You know, Darvin Ham, we can't have funny rotations tonight, man. We had a good thing going in OKC. This is also a fantastic team. Maybe you want to do the same things, man. You know, I want to see Max Christie tonight because he's a perimeter defender. He's probably one of those guys who can get out to the 3-point line and defend it better than a lot of the players that we have. I don't expect to see him, but I think it would be wise to try to run all of our best perimeter defensive players tonight, man. And all of our best defensive players. You want to try to match their defensive intensity, particularly from behind the arc. Have I stressed that enough, man? They're going to shoot the ball, fam. Like, this ain't the type of game where you run your little zone and leave them out there. This ain't the type of game where you stand off of some of the shooters because they don't shoot well. You don't want to leave none of these people from behind the arc. None of them. They all shoot well when they want to. And the ones that don't, they're in a system that allows for them to get a lot of reps shooting the 3-ball in practice. If you leave them alone, they'll probably hit the shot against you. So I like 145 points, 144 points. This is what they've been doing the last 2 games. in California. The last one in this building. So if you don't expect for them to shoot well, then you're going to probably get beaten. So that's really where we're at, man. Lakers, Celtics. This is what it's all about. It don't get no bigger than this for us. It don't get no bigger than this for them. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.